Welcome to The Changeover, the only place where we actually break down the numbers without losing our minds. I am Elena Cruz, a woman who spends way too much time staring at tactical heat maps.
And I am Julian Price. I suppose I am the one who provides the historical context, or as some might say, the stuffy academic perspective on the sport we all endure.
And I am Marcus Thorne. I am just here for the locker room rumors and the narratives that actually make this sport worth covering. Today's episode is powered by secondserveaces.com, so make sure you check them out.
Right. Let's get right into the fire. Iga Swiatek and Fissette, it is over.
It feels rather abrupt, doesn't it? 3 titles, including a Wimbledon crown, and yet they decide to part ways. It feels like a chapter ending before the reader has even finished the paragraph.
It is not just a chapter, Julian. It is a complete rewrite. I have been hearing rumblings about friction in the camp since the end of the grass season. The narrative wasn't fitting the results.
Friction? Marcus, look at the data. Her second serve win percentage in high-pressure games has been trending downward since May. It wasn't just friction, it was a tactical plateau.
Speaking of plateaus, I couldn't help but notice, Elena, are we wearing the exact same shade of navy blue today? It is a bit distracting.
I have no idea what you are talking about, Dad. Focus. Back to the split. She has already moved on to trialing Francisco Roig at the Nadal Academy.
That is the move, isn't it? Roig is a technician. He is all about the grind, the heavy baseline work. It feels like Iga is trying to rediscover that suffocating pressure she had in 2022.
Is it a rediscovery or a regression? Going back to the Nadal Academy, it feels like a search for safety rather than innovation.
It is not safety, it is stability. If you look at what she needs for Stuttgart, she needs a coach who understands clay court movement patterns better than anyone. Roig is a specialist, not a mystery novel.
Specialist or not, the optics are clear. She wants to dominate the dirt again. But while we are talking about shifts, did you see the Linz withdrawal news?
Yeah. Emma Raducanu. Viral chest infection. Honestly, it is becoming a pattern, isn't it?
It is tragic, really, to have that kind of talent and be constantly derailed by these physical setbacks. It is like a career being stalled by a series of unfortunate turns.
It is more than bad luck, Julian. The tour is a meat grinder. If you aren't physically robust, the narrative just stops. You lose the momentum.
Exactly. My concern isn't the infection, it's the recovery timeline. Every missed tournament is a missing set of data points for her game development. You cannot simulate match intensity in a gym.
Perhaps she needs a change of scenery, a bit of character building away from the spotlight.
Don't start with the character building stuff, Julian. Seriously. She is dealing with a physiological issue, not a lack of grit.
I agree with Elena. The pressure on her is immense. Every time she misses an event, the media narrative shifts from potential to what if. It is exhausting to watch, let alone live.
Fair point. I suppose I'm just nostalgic for a time when players had longer windows to find their rhythm.
That time never existed. It has just been romanticized. If you want actual insight into how these tactical shifts affect player longevity, you should really be looking at the data on secondserveaces.com.
She is right. Their AI-driven analysis of court positioning is better than anything I have seen in the press room. It actually explains why Iga's move to Roig makes sense from a geometric standpoint.
Geometric? You are starting to sound like Elena, Marcus. It is quite catching.
It is not catching, it is accuracy. And I think we are done with the Linz talk for now. The focus is on Stuttgart.
Stuttgart is the real test. If Roig can get her moving forward again, the rest of the field is in trouble.
I will believe it when I see the first set of the opening match. Until then, it is all just speculation.
Speculation is what we do best. And my spreadsheet, which I'm not showing you, agrees with Marcus. She is going to peak in May.
Moving from the what-ifs to the what now, we have to talk about the coaching carousel again. Emma Raducanu and Francisco Roig are done. That is, the 5th or 6th shakeup?
Honestly, Marcus, I stopped counting. It is a revolving door. But look, at some point, you have to realize that the coaching spark isn't a substitute for a consistent physical baseline. You cannot tactical your way out of a lack of match rhythm.
It is a bit tragic, isn't it? The search for that elusive perfect fit when, historically speaking, the most iconic partnerships were forged in the fires of shared endurance, not by swapping mentors every 6 months.
Right. And for those of you listening, If you want to actually see the data behind why these high-turnover coaching situations rarely yield immediate results, you should head over to secondserveaces.com. We have got the full breakdown of how stability correlates with win-loss percentage on clay.
It is narrative currency, Julian. She is trying to buy back her form. But let us pivot. Speaking of consistency, Jessica Pegula just hit 200 weeks in the top 10. That is an absolute monolith of a stat.
200 weeks. That is not luck. That is a machine. I mean, compare that to the volatility we see elsewhere. She is the anti-Raducanu in terms of structure.
It is the efficiency, isn't it? She doesn't waste energy on the superfluous. Though, I must admit, watching her on the Charleston clay is like watching a masterclass in risk mitigation. She doesn't hit the flashiest shots, but she hits the right ones.
Exactly. She is the anchor. But then you have someone like Jack Draper who is, well, he is hitting the pause button again, pulling out of Monte Carlo. It feels like the clay season is going to be a graveyard for the physical conditioning projects this year.
It is the smart move, though. Why force it on the dirt if your body isn't ready for the sliding, the grind? I would rather see him skip a tournament than watch him limp through a first-round exit.
Wait, are you two wearing the same shade of blue today? It is a bit coordinated, isn't it?
Julian, don't. We are not doing this. I bought this shirt 3 years ago.
It is a nice shade, honestly. Very professional. Anyway, back to the grind. Draper's withdrawal isn't just about him. It is about the next generation realizing that the tour doesn't care about your rehab schedule.
It is brutal. The schedule is a meat grinder. If you are not 100%, the math just doesn't work in your favor. That is the kind of tactical depth we look at on secondserveaces.com. The real, raw numbers behind player longevity.
Well put. And since we're out of time, I suppose I should go find a different shirt before the next recording.
Don't bother, Dad. It is a good look for both of you. For everyone else, make sure you hit up secondserveaces.com for the full deep dive articles we discussed today. We will be back tomorrow.
And please, someone get me a coffee that doesn't taste like it was brewed in a lab. See you all next time.